be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box me. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Ice and flames call my name, I freeze, I burn, I blame, I love, I hate the same. It's on my face, I cannot hide from the mistake my parents made. I'm never moving on. Not made from love, a remnant of a selfish motive. Was I needed? Do I need it to go wrong? Polarized inherent pain, pumping through my veins. Ice in flames, call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the safe I embrace inside of me. I only fuel the fire. But is it wrong for me to fight against the balance of my power? History in halves, one brain. I will break the chain. Oh no, どこには呼ぶ燃える裏目凍ると僕の愛と嫌いにいる。Oh no, どこには呼ぶ燃える裏目凍ると僕の愛と嫌いにいる。I love, I hate the same. I become a little too shy for love? I've been hurt before. All's fair in love and war. So I snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. But what if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? But what if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side.
Should I be scared? The feeling's so different now. You got me floating here, a feather in the air. Oh, but when the wind blows, will I tumble or sail away? Or would you have me stay? And what if I escape? I know.
And the sword, I don't get that the sword was actually in his mouth.
So
How do
in
you-
the book of Revelation,
yes,
they
I'm somewhat
the it's I mean the book of Revelation is basically just crazy acid trip, and so within it you have some of the imagery, if you actually read it, is quite insane. Like there is like a Jesus with a giant sword coming at it. It's like a sword mouth Jesus. It's something that's literally in the Bible.
Oh my
Like,
God.
you can cut to the passages and stuff.
I knew there was a lot of wacky stuff, but I don't remember the sword of the mouth thing. It's painting definitely a picture
Yeah.
of like a Inferno-esque, a Dante-ish kind of.
Right. Well, even at the
view,
time, like though it was written like I think even the people of the time understood it as like allegory and not as like
Yeah.
actual literal stuff, which is why in movement now to take it literally doesn't make a lot of sense because I mean it doesn't make any sense at all. But it like really doesn't make any sense
Well,
because it's like what?
I'll,
Like to try to argue that it's like insane.
I'll propose this: how do you keep people scared unless you create the boogeyman out of something?
Oh, are you implying that
I'm implying
organized
religion used for
might
control is
be
what I'm using.
something that is being used to control people? Yeah. Is
Yes.
that maybe that's
We-
was its entire purpose and it was created by human beings and oh my God, how does not everyone understand that and realize that immediately?
We're live, by the way.
I don't understand.
We are live.
Hey everybody,
Oh,
here to help.
everyone.
Listen, if you're a member of an organized religion and you're giving them money, stop it. And
This is unsolicited
give
advice.
that money to a 501c3
Someone who actually needs
charity of your choice that you know where the money is going.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, how did this start? This started from that pastor in Dallas who got caught sexual assaulting some woman,
yes.
some young girl or something. It was
of course
another
he did,
one.
because
Because of course he did.
that's what
what
happens,
that's what they
and
do.
that is the world we live in.
That's what they do.
Yes.
And it's like,
That is,
fuck's sake.
this is America, and that's how it works now.
that
Or
that-
perhaps
that-
that's how it always worked.
that and bump stocks. Yes, that's how it works. Yeah.
Right. But other
So-
thing, I mean, like trying to explain to international colleagues anything about what happens in our country is just not impossible.
No.
It's impossible.
Because you start and
In,
then
like,
you realize
the
you
bump
sound like
stock
an
thing, you can't.
right. Because you start
I
and
sound
then
like
you
an
sound like
insane
an
person.
idiot. Right. You're like, I know I'm
Right.
not making sense. However, this is how it
Yeah.
is.
So wait. So it's a thing you put in a gun
No.
that's already a machine gun. No, it's not done like a machine. Okay, so it's not, but it's a thing, and it makes it. So isn't that the thing that
It's
killed all
super
those
fast.
people in Las Vegas?
Correct.
Yes, it is that thing. And so they banned it after that. Yeah. And now you're like the people who are supposed to be like the ones who determine all the laws were like, no, that's not fair. Yes. You guys are like you're insane. Like you are like I cannot. It's like
The best part,
like there's
Trump-
no yeah.
Trump is the one that
It
banned
was
it.
Trump's right. Which is like it's like this is why we can't have. It's why we can't have nice things. It's just funny.
It's like beyond comical. All right. So
But
anyway,
I've had so many conversations.
hello everyone. How you doing tonight? So we're here. We got Green Pants. Green Pants, wonderful as always. Thank you for joining us. And,
I'm so happy to be here. I would
I am
love
honored.
to be able to help people in an
I am
area
honored.
not related to explaining America to
To foreigners,
foreign colleagues.
people from
Because if I can
overseas.
just getting away from
Challenging.
that for a little bit is
Um,
delightful.
That's not to
So,
say they haven't had their own strikes.
it
I
on.
mean, I got a bunch of colleagues from the Czech Republic, and crazy stuff happened there.
oh yeah,
years
no,
ago, but,
absolutely.
But
But
things happened. But
it's just we
figured it
happen
out.
to really be pushing the limits. Like
Mhm.
it's like we're
sure.
America has really has a hold my beer vibe at the moment. I think it just seems regardless of what
not
happens.
Miller Lite,
Oh
though.
yeah,
That's not the band
right.
beer.
Okay.
There you go.
Like
So
um,
right. So anyway, we're here to help people, despite what you might be hearing right now.
yes.
But hopefully, what we're saying is also helping you. But we have 5 questions that were submitted by viewers, such as yourself, and people who need
Excellent. Can't
advice, people who need some guidance, people who need some another perspective.
Love in their life.
Yeah,
Right.
but just maybe have this thing they can't resolve, and that's why we're here.
Right.
Give them that
Right.
missing piece, and yeah,
This is not a cocaine itch, by the way.
it's not.
Uh,
That's the
That
sign
has
for
nothing to do with cocaine. Yeah, it's just.
it. That's like-
So what's our first question?
So let's go to our first question. Yes, and our standard disclaimer, of course, we are not mental health professionals in any way, shape, or form. So take any advice as such.
Oh,
Even though we do know a lot of things, we know a lot. What do we know? We know a little about a lot of things, a lot about some
Right.
things, but a little about a lot of things. So I don't know.
A lot of opinions,
Yes,
very strongly held ones.
yes. Hopefully informed ones. So let's go question 1. Okay.
That is the goal always. Yeah.
Yes. So, question 1 is this is Mark from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Mark asks,
Okay.
extremely ashamed of my bad taste in the media and don't know what to do. I give things way more leeway and find positives in almost everything, and it really irks me. Things I should hate, I still somehow find a positive. My friends make fun of me because I can't tell good movies from bad. Now I have serious anxiety playing movies even alone because of my insecurity. How do I fix this?
Oh, hey, Mark, secret for you. People are allowed to like dumb shit.
Yes.
Like, even if it's objectively stupid, it's how you get Bridgerton, or you get a
Slam
career
on
for Bill
Bridgerton.
Maher. Like,
Slam
I
on
mean,
Bill
how
Maher.
could Kiss possibly exist as a musical act
That-
if you couldn't like stupid shit?
I'll give you that one.
Like, Guar, how can that exist? I mean, like TikTok would have to 98% of it would have to be moved because it's all short form garbage.
Yes.
And then like the Hallmark channel is all long form garbage, which
Yeah.
then you would have to, So,
Right. I mean, the reality is most shit is bad. There's some gems out there for sure. There's definitely good art, good stuff, but there's a lot of bad out there, and it's okay to like some of it. That's your role. I
Right,
love
but-
the movie
but
Starship
either
Troopers,
way-
but it was objectionably terrible.
right,
I
and you
would
can love
rewatch
to
it.
hate stuff or whatever.
Right.
And you know what? The world is so crazy out there. Anything that you like that you can use to like kind of escape or whatever.
Right.
Here's the thing:
That's
the
what media's
fact
for.
that I mean, what I think of, Mark, is that the fact that you're even capable of like having shame already puts you above like 50% of the
Correct.
population.
Wow.
So right there, the idea. So who's not capable of shame? The people who created the Swan, or who wants
Oh,
to
the movie.
marry a millionaire or
That was
perhaps
so
a sexual
bad.
predator. I mean, it's just
I remember
what's
that.
in the box? Joe Millionaire. Like, let's fool this person. I mean, it's yeah, those people have no
Great
shame.
capacity for horrible media out there.
Right.
It's okay to like some of it. It really is. I mean, this stuff wouldn't be popular if people didn't like
yeah.
it. It's okay.
Even
mean,
Bridgerton.
You're so anti-Bridgerton. My son's watching Bridgerton
I-
right now and he
I-
loves it.
Who's watching Bridgerton?
My son is.
Your son. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he likes it.
I actually have absolutely I've never seen an episode of Bridgerton.
Oh, I see.
I have no idea.
Just slamming the Bridgerton.
That is why this is
Oh,
one of
and
those things.
Sam
I'm
watched
speaking of with-
Bridgerton.
This is a completely uninformed opinion. 100% uninformed. Except that I looked at it and it kind of looks dumb to me. So it's dumb in general. I see. That's how it works.
There you go. So yeah, and I think like you would say things you should hate, like according to who? You know what I mean? If you like it, you like it.
Right. Exactly. Like for a long time, it like liking Star Wars. I don't know. Most of my life, It was
Right.
a not cool thing to do. Now, I could wear a Star Wars shirt out and see another person wearing the same shirt,
Right.
like while
And
I'm at
go-
the mall, and go like, "Oh yeah, did we both get this at Target?" Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Clarence.
really, yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, that's just I like non-ironically wear anime shirts like now just because Nate gets a kick out of them. So like I have a Goku shirt and I've got a you know you know Naruto
Oh,
and everything.
eligible.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, the Demon Slayer, Black Clover is another one, big one that now.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I would say.
Well, no, that's the point. It's all bad stuff, but he likes it, and that's fine. It's all shit,
Right.
like complete shit. It's like
garbage.
it's like 6 frames per. I mean,
Yeah,
because there's so much where they just like close in. There's so many cuts that you, in order to make like 7 minutes, like they've compressed the drawing down so much that it's like it like kind of is amazing.
yeah, it's kind of cheap anime.
Well, on some of these that have like 700 episodes, but they
Right.
each are people overreacting to things.
Right.
You know, like people just go from it. That's to
The
me that's the
pulsing
key thing
vein.
in anime.
Remember always the pulsing vein.
Well, everyone in everyone is has explosive emotional
Reaction,
disorder.
yes.
Like in because anyone can go from like just perfectly fine to fire coming out of their ears
Right.
and lines everywhere,
Jumping up and down on the
It's,
ground.
Yeah, right.
So-
It's just like
So Mark, what I would say, I think you touched on something before, Green Pants, is that the reason you're consuming media, if it's just an escape, right? Then
Right.
if that's how you approach,
not. I mean, unless it's news. I mean, that doesn't have to be all media, but yeah,
we're assuming
for
fiction,
entertainment
fictional
media.
entertainment media,
Or
That's what
entertainment
I'm
media,
assuming here, right? Entertainment media.
Yeah.
If it's just an escape, then it's like, dude, whatever doesn't irritate you is completely fine, right? But like, I know, like Green Parents and myself, for example, we have a discriminating eye towards certain media. Compare, we contrast, we may judge, you know,
Right.
but to the same point, there may be stuff that's objectively bad, but we still enjoy it for whatever reason. Comment on some
Right.
good aspects of it as well. But I
It's
think
even hard to say I mean, objectively bad is like also it's like you can also even be production values or whatever, but you can
Right.
still find like there can be programs like MST3K able to take that entire thing like here's stuff that's just terrible,
so bad.
and we're gonna present it in such a way
Gonna
that
rip
it's
on it.
that we've like fixed it and
Oh.
it's funny.
Right.
Or
like when you're
we're gonna
watching
take
when you're
horrible
watching
stuff
a
and
show
we're
and
just
you
gonna put new subtitles.
right, and when you see like a movie, you see like the boom mic kind of sitting there, and you're like, oh my god.
Right. Yeah.
The story's otherwise entertaining, so it's fine. You know, you don't overlook it. Yeah, for
So-
sure. So that's
so-
the thing. So if
So
you're
definitely don't feel any shame.
Correct.
I mean, or don't feel shame. Don't be capable of shame, please. But
you need to have shame.
you don't need to feel shame about your bad taste.
Right.
If no one's being injured or whatever, like whatever dumb shit you like.
Yeah, but do keep in mind that your friends that may be making fun of you, what do they say? Positives, blah, 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 your friends make fun of you. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think you just said they make fun of him.
Yeah. If they just make fun of you, it's like but just keep in mind they may be like Green Pants and I, where we are discriminatory media consumers, right? Well, we'll talk about like, oh my god, did you see that show? Yeah, scene 23, about 26 minutes in, they did blah 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 blah. That was bullshit. Here's why, and we will introspect the hell out of it, right? And kind of say like, that's why this was a stupid decision by the director. The director should have been fired, and here's why. They miscast this actor. So we'll poke holes in things, and but some people aren't like that. It's like
Right. In my experience, a lot of times in a group of friends, there generally is a person who's like, I'll go see a movie, and everyone's like, oh, what the hell was that, or whatever, and then there's one person who's like, thought it was okay,
that's all right. Yeah.
because they're like, they're just more flexible and stuff, and so,
Right.
I've definitely had friends like that where everyone says, that was such a, it's not okay for you to have liked that movie that we just watched because it was absolutely horrible.
Right.
They're like, nah, it was fine. No, it was not.
Here's
So,
why.
But sometimes there's that friend, and it's like, okay, well, but it doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means, okay, that you don't have discerning taste. So,
So I think
oh well.
there's nothing.
Hey, that gives you a lot more options to watch stuff.
yes.
Like,
So you're
it's a
not
lot harder
endlessly
when you
browsing.
only like very specific things.
clicking the remote button. Next
Yeah,
page. It's
right.
like constant.
when you have to get a streaming service for one show,
Right.
because you and
The only show you
watch
wanna watch.
3 shows and they're on 3 different services.
You could almost hit like the roulette button on your remote and something come up, and you'll be fine with it. And
Right.
that's an admirable trait,
Right.
actually.
Because I always wondered when Netflix is like, "Would you like us to suggest something?" What?
Yeah.
No, like, it's like I've never been there.
I
Like,
know what I want.
yes, I have nothing to do right now. Please throw whatever on. Let me. I'll decide if I like it. Who's
Yeah.
got that fucking kind of
I wonder
time?
how many people do that. Like I'm sure they're out there.
I
people who
guess
actually do
I
that.
guess
Like, give
maybe
me
if I was
something.
like in my 20s and I was like
That
just
must be
like
under-
hammered on the couch and
Right,
didn't want to
right.
do anything. It was just like put
and
something
didn't want
on.
to think
I-
about what
okay,
to watch. Just want to be mindless about it and boom.
and literally did not have anything else to do. Like,
So Mark, fixing it.
it's
Don't
been a long time.
don't
since
fix
that.
it unless you want to lose that. Again, I'm making the presumption, which I think is correct based on what you said. Is basically like you're just enjoying media just to decompress and relax and just take something in, you know, and like that's great.
Right.
That's how you can. That's it. If you start thinking about how to fix
Totally.
it, you're gonna break that. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have that ability anymore. So I'd say keep it the way you're doing it. Your friends will get over it. You know, it's fine. Be yourself.
Right.
Oh.
Telling
what you
people
like.
what they should or shouldn't like, it's absolutely pointless. You know, like I have no interest in sports ball, but my entire life I have been told, no, this is a thing which is exciting. This is a thing which brings people together. This is a thing
America.
which we all need
America.
to unite around because it's something that we all have in common.
America.
And I'm like, but not me, because I don't get any feeling of that.
Right.
And so,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
but you know, that's fine. That's it. You know, that's why Comic-Con exists.
Yes.
know?
Yeah. All right, let's head to our next question. So, Mark, hopefully that helps. Your guns, man. Next question is from Anastasia from
Are we
Glendale,
number 2?
Arizona. Yeah, number 2. Anastasia
Okay.
Glendale asks, "How do I, 21-year-old female, deal with my invasive and nosy coworker, 60-year-old female? I work in a kitchen at a
Okay.
nursing home, and it's always just me, her, and another woman who's 62. Ever since I started, she's always being very nosy. Called out one day last week, and I came back, and she's asking me, 'What happened on Tuesday? Are you sick? What did you go to the doctor for?' Then she blurts out,
Yeah.
'Are you pregnant?' I said I didn't know. Then she asks me, 'Are you keeping it or aborting it?' How do I confront
my
her?
God.
How do I confront her without being disrespectful to an elder or making the work environment awkward?"
Okay. Anastasia. Okay. Disrespect for elders, like
Anastasia. Love that name.
messaging. Yeah. It's an excellent name. Disrespect for elders propaganda that has really sunk its fingers into people. Like, somehow Big Geriatric has been so successful in convincing us to somehow respect the people who prioritized all of their short-term goals over the long-term gain of our kids and our planet, and basically told the future generations to go fuck themselves and enjoy living in their underground habitats,
And that they demand respect.
and staying out of the radiation. So the fact that you need to respect those
All
people
out, bro.
because they are older, it's like, no, that woman sounds like an idiot. She's being completely ridiculous. So the situation is a lot more simple. First, take out of your sentence, take out the respect for an elder nonsense. Just
Yes.
remove that completely.
Okay.
Full stop. Okay. So what you're left with is just, how do I confront her? There I can help you. Because there are literally listen, Anastasia, there are literally thousands of ways to tell someone to go, have a big steaming cup and go fuck yourself. Like, you're already in a kitchen. Like, that right there would work.
Yes.
Like, and maybe, you give her a heart attack and, she's maybe,
Oh boy.
no longer a
Oh
problem.
boy. Oh
I don't
boy.
know. I'm not saying you do that. I'm just saying it could happen because, things happen
Oh boy.
sometimes,
Oh, boy.
but
Nice.
it's all I'm saying is you should feel. I understand that you wouldn't feel uncomfortable telling her off, but definitely don't feel uncomfortable because of the fact that she's old.
Yes.
Because
I agree with that.
What she's
I agree
doing
with
is
that.
super rude.
It
and
is rude.
not okay.
And she's clearly trying to either, I don't know, projecting, living vicariously something 60.
Oh, right. And it's like looking for drama. I mean,
Right.
that's been my experience
Your
with some of that stuff.
real
It's
life
just
might
like,
be
oh, is there
boring,
something?
right?
Oh, are they getting a divorce? Like,
Right.
what? I don't know.
Right.
What? Yeah, you know what I mean?
You're
Oh, I
21,
heard
you're
their kid
young,
was in-
crazy,
you know,
right?
right. It's like, oh, their kid, I heard he, like he got suspended from school or like some bullshit. You're like, what? Like,
Well, if it's me, dude, but like people that young, like I know 21's technically an adult, but like I'm still super careful about what I say about around them. You know what I mean? Because it's like still childlike, and
oh, right.
you know what I mean. And I'm kind of I play it more cool
Well, yeah.
than I end up
mean,
from around more
I guess
pure age group people. You know, it's like
oh, yeah. I do you want them to know how fucked they are? I don't. I mean, my children should be terrified, but I don't want that.
Right.
So I'm terrified. So I'm terrified for them. And do what I can, and just hope for the best,
Yeah.
even under this lovely heat dome that we
Yeah,
have.
so
That's just totally natural and just a normal thing that
Right.
happens because the normal natural cycle of things, and it's totally fine.
So and I'll touch on the age thing. I think there's a general deference until someone proves they're not worthy of that, like exactly this case. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I'd give him
Such
my
as
seat,
asking you,
give your seat on the train,
you are-
that kind of stuff, saying, hey, you're older and wiser, you probably know some things I don't, so what do you think?
Well,
Kind of for their opinion. But and again,
Right, that-
unless they
that
do
I
shit like
get.
this.
when you're looking for wisdom, you may find it there. And when someone, especially if they're if they're older and needs the seat, it's polite to get but
Sure.
it's this idea of blind respect
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
just
No matter
you're
what.
not allowed to say anything bad because they're old.
Agreed.
It's
That's
like,
bullshit.
oh no, they're old, so you know what, she's fine.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much of that where it's like not fine. Like I've watched people berating cashiers, and it's like I always come in and say something.
Old men sexually
because it's like-
harassing receptionists.
right. Any of
Hey,
that stuff.
pretty
It's
thing,
like,
it's
right.
like
and they're
like-
like, oh, they lived in a different time.
It's like, when do
this
people
is
get to say
now
that?
our time. It is it's like it was a different time. It's not that time now. So they don't get to be like they were now. Why? Like no.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Stop making me feel crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, so I would confront her about it. So I would just say, hey, just you're getting a little too personal. I'm feeling uncomfortable with your questions. Can you not ask me that kind of stuff? Be respectful about it.
Or alternatively,
Or here's the
you could say, hey, why don't you go fuck yourself? And just hit her with that just hard in the unexpected area, and her amygdala will be like, "Nyeh," and then maybe you'll get that fall you're looking for. So
oh boy,
See.
Anastasia,
What?
I would recommend you go with option A.
saying,
But good
do
luck.
whatever you want, but do whatever makes you feel best. I
That's
think.
right. That's right. So yes, and of course there's always the HR option, right? If it continues. Salman's bringing that
Yes,
up. I think it's a
I'm sure
very
the
excellent
nursing home
point.
they work at has a good HR
Fair.
department, which will be. I'm sure she can go into the HR process of this nursing home
Yeah.
and talk to the people in charge and get this straightened out by the committee.
Your sarcasm drips.
It should be. It should be syrupy thick, and just it's.
Just try talking to
It's
this lady
gotten.
first.
It's everywhere now. I don't. It's like
Yeah.
I've made a terrible. mess.
And another, you could use maybe the other woman can help you that's back in the kitchen with you, right? Saying, "Oh my God, why is she
Right.
always on me about this stuff? Can you talk to her or something? I feel really
Right.
uncomfortable." Maybe she could be an
Right,
ally,
'cause
right?
Because she might be like her friend, but we don't really know that. Or, yeah,
Right, we
because
don't
she
know if
might
she's
be like
laughing
embarrassed, being
along
like,
or-
"Why is she, she
Right.
doing this to this
To a
girl?"
21-year-old,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, right.
Oh.
No.
All right.
Um,
So Anastasia, good luck. And like I said,
yeah,
you need to escalate if it doesn't get better. Wish you luck.
I'm not exactly sure who you're going to escalate to,
It's
but
HR, right?
you do that. But yeah,
Alright.
that's a tough position.
All right. So moving on. Question 3.
Okay.
What do we got? This is from Sean from Kissimmee. Is that how you pronounce that town in Florida? Kissimmee, Florida.
Kissimmee,
Kissimmee.
I think.
Oh, my bad.
Kissimmee,
My bad. Kissimmee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean from Kissimmee.
Kissimmee, Florida.
Kissimmee, Florida.
Yeah.
Sean says, I don't know why, but from a young age, I've often thought about the fact that we are all going to die anyway, so nothing matters. It's right up your alley. But I managed to push it to the back of my mind. Now I'm nearing 30, and I'm becoming an age that's not considered young anymore. I've recently started to think about life, death in general a lot more, and how I'm literally not going to exist one day, and it scares me.
Nope.
I think about what I'm giving to the world, and whether or not it will ever even matter. Is this normal to think about this so often at my age? I don't understand why this is happening. Go ahead,
Okay.
do your thing.
Sean,
And
Buddy.
unleash.
no, I don't need to unleash. No, this is Hey, Sean, wrestling with one's own mortality is like one of the most normal human things that you can do. Our natural instincts tell us, do everything you can to not die. And
one.
when you eventually come to the overwhelmingly obvious answer that nothing that you ever do or say or have done or will do ever actually matters at all in any sort of cosmic sense whatsoever, it can be a bummer. I get that. So, okay, will anything you do ever matter? No, of course not. Is there anything... Okay, we'll go here. Is there anything that you can do about it? Also, no, nothing you can do about it. But just know that we are all fucked in this together, and that there's nothing that I can do about it either. So I will be non-existent there with you, unless you're like, I think, because when you say it's like, what happens after we die? Like, as far as we know, nothing. But ultimately we're not going to exist, and very few people will ever remember that we did. Unless we're Taylor Swift or Hitler.
Oh, you mean like a legacy,
Right. Like, Gandhi, Beyonce, Alexander the Great. Those guys, yeah. Just saying, it's a very small minority.
Put your hands up.
But yeah, it can be a bummer. Okay, is there any help you can advise, Vanguard? I can understand.
Better put a ring on it. Better put a
See,
ring
this
on
is
it.
what happens. This is what happens over here. Is you just pretend that everything's great.
Okay, Sean,
And-
I do have legit advice. So, cosmically speaking, fine, nothing matters. However,
Thank you.
on Earth speaking, when you look at like the group organism of society, and that's human beings how we're on this planet, we all affect each other's lives in different ways, right? The main goal in life is to do good and to positively affect the lives of others, right? And that
It's
even
your
if,
main goal. That should be everyone's goal.
even if
It would
you
be so awesome if
Right.
maybe even higher than 11% of people's goal was that. That would be awesome.
Okay, maybe I'm raising a high bar. I don't know. So even if you don't get like a more concrete cementing of a legend like a Taylor Swift or a Beyonce or a whoever, right? The unknown impacts
Genghis
we have on Khan. Yeah, he got a bad rap, that guy. Actually, no, he didn't.
I mean, yeah, kind of. I don't know. It kind of goes both ways. He's also has a rap as a badass too.
Oh, he was
Like,
a
people
badass.
aren't like, oh, Khan, evil man. He's more just like, "Argh," like everyone just he's associated with just destruction.
So where does I go with that? All right, so everything you do, a kind word, holding the door, whatever, you made someone's life better, right? And that in turn may have made the people that they influence lives better, and so on and so forth. That's the network of the social interaction, right? So you do good things, and what you do matters in that way with regard to the rest of the human beings on this planet. And that's the best we can go for in life, right? Is helping each other. I mean, we are a communal species, despite what many people will tell you. We do not stand on our own, right? We would not get to where we are right now if we were not a communal species. So
Yeah, and I have discovered when you, as you probably have seen, that when you really examine it, with a far out lens, it gets messy quickly. So to Vanguard's point, if you just hone in on the present and how you're interacting with the other humans about you, that is probably the best philosophy. And being nice to someone, or hopefully having a positive interaction during the day will, in general, it's I think right now especially, there's just a lot of just pissed off energy in general.
There is.
Even when I go anywhere, like there's
Sure.
more road rage, and everything else. And I think, you know, I just go up to people now randomly and hug them.
You're
You know,
a serial
and
hugger.
yeah, right. And
Nice.
they, fight but I'm there until the police pull me off.
Oh.
Because I care.
That's something else. But yes.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the thing, Sean.
Oh,
So, and if our ancestors didn't do that, meaning if they didn't work together, if they didn't cooperate, if they didn't support each other, if all these things didn't happen, we wouldn't be here as a species. You know what I mean? So it's literally built into our nature. Communally help each other, grow with that feeling. That's
Right.
your contribution in life, right?
And if you can keep yourself busy with the present, you won't be philosophizing so much about like what's going to happen after you die. Like I know it's so it's just so trite to say live for the moment or whatever, but it's like just but really just like do what you can, and don't if you I try to every day. I try not to think about too much where an egg comes from. I like eggs, but when I think about it, I'm like, oh man, it's that kind of thing. Just
Chicken vagina.
right, stay out of the sausage factory.
For sure.
Stay out of abattoirs. They not somewhere that you ever will eat meat again.
That's right. So Sean, yeah, that's the way to think about it, man.
Another piece of advice right now for you, right there.
Don't set yourself
Abattoirs will scare you.
Yes. But don't say.
I feel confident saying that.
I respect that. I respect
Is that a hot
I do.
take? I don't think it's a hot take.
I mean it's your hot take. Fine.
Okay, but by a hot take, it means more like it was an immediate take. So okay,
Yes.
my long-term take is also that visiting an abattoir is horrible.
Oh. Okay. So this is a deep,
I'm just saying.
deeply
Yeah,
felt.
I feel very comfortable telling people that.
I'm happy for you that you feel that way. I don't have an opinion one way or another.
I think I've said too much. Please go on.
Sean. So, what was I saying? So don't get too wrapped up about it, man. We're all gonna die. You're right. In the cosmic scheme of things, we're basically little packets of cells on this little ball of mud in this great infinite void.
No. See, you're going
right?
down. You're going
Right.
down that's
the
can't go
macro
down that.
scale. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about what
Pull it
we can
back in.
affect here. We're pulling it in.
Pull it in.
Yes. And how we can affect each other, and we can do every time you do something. I don't know. Like being too idealistic here, but I try to live my life like if I died today, I'm happy with everything I've done in the past. Regrets and contributed. I've contributed more than I've taken.
It doesn't really matter what the philosophy is, just having it and having something to distract yourself, whether or not it's stuff such as our first question that's just objectively stupid. If it brings you joy, that's fine. Instead of thinking about, how nothing really matters, watch The Swan. Problem solved.
There you go, Sean. All right, so good luck, man. We're pulling for you. We think you're going to do a lot of good things. All right, here we go. Next one. Next question 4, I think. Yeah. This is from Christopher, Walpack
Okay.
Township, New Jersey. Says, I'm a 35-year-old male. I've never really liked interacting with people. The only time I feel alone is at parties. I'm super uncomfortable around groups of people. I work from home, and I love my little sanctuary away from cute and coworkers. When I'm home and alone, I feel safe and like everything will be okay. Parents say I shouldn't continue to live like this. How do I fix myself? So,
Okay.
not a related
Christopher.
question.
Well, okay, Christopher, it sounds like you're an introvert, which
Yes,
is
that is the word for
completely
it.
fine. Like literally, like some of the best people I've never met are introverts, and
come out of the
and we'll
house.
never meet,
Yes.
unfortunately. And if you live at home in your little goblin cave, and have a warm embrace of darkness around you, that's free of any human contact, that's totally fine. It sounds like you've got a pretty good thing going, really. Like if you work from home and this is what makes you happy, that's okay. Unless, okay, is your sanctuary located in your parents' basement? Because if it is, I
I'm
could
guessing,
understand why there would be, your parents might have some input into your career prospects.
I'm guessing yes. If you're
But,
35 and you're at your parents' house, you're doing something wrong. Get the fuck out of your parents' house.
yeah, at this point, they really want to turn your bedroom into a home gym or
They want
like a
you
gift
out.
wrapping room,
Yes.
or like a place for your dad to put all his porn.
Yes.
Whatever.
For God's sake, support yourself.
Right, exactly. So like, yeah, so you've got to get out of the if that's part of it. But if you are on your own, doing your own thing, providing for yourself, being an introvert, staying inside, feeling comfortable, you have a job clearly, live somewhere close to Grubhub and Uber Eats,
But you gotta talk to the
Nothing
delivery
to-
people, don't you?
right. Well, it's not like, I mean, is it like was it angrophobia? It's agoraphobia that just won't come out of the house.
Right.
So that sort of depends. It's like that. Well, that's more of like fear outside,
Right.
as opposed to fear
Not being
interacting
in your
with people.
house. People, yeah, social interaction fear. There's probably a name for that.
I mean,
I gotta look it up now.
I think my point would just be because this question is like, do I need to fix myself? And it's like, no, not necessarily. Like if you're happy and you're doing things okay, it's like that's fine, great, But if you're unhappy, then yeah. So if it's just because your parents are saying, yeah, that you can't live like this, okay, ask yourself that. Do you want to live like this? If the answer is yes, problem solved. Unless you're
make your
in
own
your parents'
choices.
basement, at which point that is a different problem,
Not
which
fully
you
your decision.
should solve. Yeah.
So it's anthropophobia.
Anthropophobia? Is that fear of
Anthropophobia.
others?
Fear
That would make sense.
of
Fear of
people in
groups or
fear
something.
of others. Yes. Avoid
Yeah, 'cause
crowds.
like anthropology.
Avoid anxious at the thought of being around other people. Difficult participating in conversations. Yes.
Okay.
So there you go.
But that's like normally that. Well, when it's a full phobia, that's where it takes it to the most extreme.
Yeah. I'm not
level,
going to
generally.
presume that Christopher's at that level.
Right. Yeah, you can be introvert, just like not like talking to people. I mean, like especially working from home.
Oh, Super J
No.
says the DoorDash leaves the food at the door. Know that?
That would make sense. The put door dash, I guess. But how do you? Well, I guess yeah, you're paying them
You
online.
paid
there's
on the
no-
app, right?
Yeah, and they probably just like Amazon. They take a picture, or not. But yeah, Amazon just they don't ring your doorbell or
I
anything.
don't know. I want to talk to the.
Thankfully.
Hey man, what's up? He's sociable and engage me in pleasant conversation. I will tip him more.
Well, you set the tip amount before you pay, so it's like
I don't know
I
about
believe so. At least
that. You could choose.
some of the apps that I've used, it's like you set because they have to know what to set it. Unless it's like one of those things where they're literally coming to your door with a receipt and you have a pen and you're actually penciling in the tip. You have to provide it beforehand.
Super J, help us. When do you do the tip? He apparently knows. What was I gonna say, Christopher? The thing I'd be concerned about. Here's my concern. And this is gonna come across as being disparaging against introverts. I do respect your right to be an introvert, and that's fine. I'm like, however, sometimes it's people who are afraid to do the work of socially interacting with others. I'll get back to our previous question. Biologically speaking, we are social creatures. So, psychologically speaking, case. So with that said, really want to envision your life when you're 90, land on your deathbed, and there's literally no one in your life that gives a rat's ass about you. Right?
Wow, that got dark.
I'm just saying. Right? Is that really what you want? Or do you want to make relationships that have meaning with other people? Those people in your life. I mean, you can't do that unless you go out of your house. So,
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily. You could meet
I-
people online, but you know what I mean. Like, interacting with
Right.
other humans.
So I think it's the way in which you approach the question. If you approach the question from, is it okay to be introverted? Sure. Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. Do you need to fix yourself? No, not necessarily. However, you might be missing out on experiences that you would otherwise have if you made that leap to try to meet people and there perhaps could be things that you might enjoy doing that you're not open to, and perhaps being more open to that, you might find more
Right.
just joy in general out of life.
And the unknown, like things you don't even know because you're not even trying. You know what I mean? Again, it's like a fear that he's experiencing.
Right.
And again, I think it's just you don't want to do the work of what it takes to interact with other people.
Right, which is great. Why that in like 5 years everything will be VR, and you can just experience whatever you want from your gaming chair.
But it's still people,
And
virtual people.
right. But it's like living in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
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 That sounded awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it was meant to be like dystopian, but like I'm like,
Doesn't seem so bad.
sounded kind of cool. Just walking on a treadmill, like just doing really cool stuff, watching all this '80s nostalgia. I'm like, that guy, those people have it made. Like, I don't need any more than that.
Nice.
Like, of course it's all fake.
So
Yeah, give me that Matrix steak.
That's the Matrix steak. That's Cypher. So that's what I would say, Christopher, is that just be aware of the consequences, right? And think do you really want to be alone the rest of your life? You know what I mean? Or do you want to and just don't know how? Those are two different issues. We can help you with both, right? But just make sure it's a conscious decision and that you're being mindful of the consequences. I'm telling you, when you're in your 80s or whatever, later in life, too late, right? Tougher. No one.
Well, and you can also start out slowly with like just even knowing people, like with people online or whatnot. Just but having that social interaction is valuable whether or not you know it. I think it's something that, like, if people are alone, even if they want to be alone, like, they will go nuts. You go insane if you're alone by yourself. Like, you can't do it. It's not possible. Ultimately.
And really, I wonder, I know we're presuming a bit, but like what you were saying earlier, right? Like if he really does live with his parents, like he might see like, oh, there's other humans nearby. That's what I need. That's enough to stave off that loneliness kind of thing. So again,
right. It was
get out of your parents'
rude
house.
of me to imply that you were in your parents' basement. You may not be. Maybe perhaps you are, that's fine too. But wherever you live, having social experiences generally is going to be positive.
It's a positive. It really is. And then we're looping back to the earlier question, right? The point I was trying to make there, which is like, the way we interact with each other is part of what gives life joy. You know what I mean? Like, what? So you pop out of a womb, you sit there, you grow to some level of maturity, and you just sit there and work and make money from nothing and eat and consume and die. That's a life. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Wow. Yeah, that is depressing.
Yeah. So
when you put it that way, wow.
I'd suggest take it, like, find the level for you, right? Like, and again, I'm trying to be really respectful about those introvert tendencies, right? And being an introvert, and that's fine, but you could still have friends. You know what I mean? You could still have meaningful connections with other humans. And I strongly recommend you do that, right? And find your way that you're comfortable with to do that. Maybe it's a stage thing, but like I said, you start online, maybe you meet a bunch of people in a video game. Now you have a little group that you get together every whatever and meet online. That's great too. Something. So
again, this is advice that you can, it's whether or not this is actually solicited advice, but don't have others tell you how to be happy. So if your parents are saying this isn't okay and you are unhappy because of this, it's like, no, not necessarily. Like, you might be fine. So just Like,
but again, that could be veiled.
Look around yourself.
Right, but that could be veiled code for get out of our house, please.
it could be, which is another issue. But just from just in general, the fact that someone else is like, you shouldn't live like this unless it's like obviously like a health issue or like illegal or something. It's like they're just like,
if they're expressing concern, I think that's okay, right? I mean, I just did the same. You know what I mean?
I have a friend who's into ballroom dancing. Spends ridiculous amounts of money. Ballroom dancing, like actually ballroom dancing. I don't know if you know this. It is an actual thing that people do all over. And they pay money.
Very
they buy
social
costumes. And but it's very expensive. But it's something that people actually do, and they enjoy it. And I know it seems insane, and I know you probably won't believe me, but it is. It's out there. You can find it on YouTube. The people exist.
Yes. You're saying people into strange things is kind of what you're saying.
No, I'm saying people into ballroom dancing is a thing, and we'll spend a lot of money and stuff doing it. So what I'm saying is there's a broad variety of social experiences that you might not otherwise. I mean, you may not want to go into something as completely bonkers as ballroom dancing, but perhaps visiting the library or something.
Oh my
You know,
goodness. Yes.
talking to some people.
Talking to people. Well, you're supposed to be quiet in the library. Yes.
Maybe
Well,
you're
thank
quiet
you for
in the
that.
library.
At my
Fine.
quiet library. So yeah. So as an introvert that currently ballroom dances, I can sympathize with this path that you're showing. Which is
You. I wasn't naming names.
oh, stop it.
Why would you out yourself like that? God.
I have no shame about it. I'm good with it. But yeah, so
There's-
Christopher,
there's no
that's the
reason to
point,
shame.
right? I used to be extremely introverted, and I expanded my horizons, and now I'm very extroverted. We're happier for it, in my opinion. But again, mileage may vary. I'm not gonna say that's the right path for everyone. But again, I think human connection is an important thing, and I think find the way that it works for you, level of comfort, and we wish you luck. Off slow.
One thing that might change your mind: having sex. That might
Having sex is
want
great.
you to hanging out with other people, and
Really
it is
good.
something that really, to experience the best, you does require another person. It's stuff that you can do, but
Not as fun alone.
It's the social aspect is pretty key there, I think.
And unfortunately, with that, there's a whole bunch of society norms you have to follow that you'd have to figure out stuff for the leading up to the sex. But
Right.
it's worth it, I think. So Christopher, good
All
luck.
right.
All right, here we go. Our last question.
Yeah. Good luck.
Heather from Tarrytown. I know Terry. Heather from Tarrytown, New York. Heather is 32-year-old female. I have returned to college to finish my degree. Good for you. I couldn't finish it back in 2020 as planned due to quarantine. There's a guy in one of my classes who is an older student. 25 male. Oh, older meaning older than the average. Okay, I'm understanding. Older than the average college student, but not as old as her. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me start over. 32-year-old female. Returned to college, finished my degree. I couldn't finish it back in 2020 as planned due to quarantine. There's a guy in one of my classes who is an older student, 25-year-old male, but not as old as me, and I think he likes me. I thought he was older than that at first, but apparently not. Complimented my looks a lot, particularly my hair, and sometimes offers me snacks. I'm not sure what to do in this situation. I do find him attractive, and feel like a sicko for it because that's a whopping 7-year age difference. What should I do? Have sex with him? Like,
Okay,
I'm confused.
Heather. Wow.
I
Oh
don't
my god.
understand what's
Okay.
happening.
Listen, no. I listen. This is a place that I can definitely add a little bit of perspective.
Please.
It is a rough world out there. And there is no shame in starting your journey as a cougar early on. But 7 years is absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, like
Not a
to
cougar.
get, as I said, let me get to give you perspective. My own elderly mother is currently banging a gigolo 30 years her junior, and he's a total piece of shit. And she does that, and everyone's like totally fine with it, like
Right.
all the neighbors and stuff. So like, I'm just saying, there is a long ramp, on ramp to the Sicko highway
Yes,
there.
you're
Like
not even
before you
close.
get to Sicko, you can really do a lot
Close.
before people really start asking questions. I'm telling you.
God's sake, girlfriend.
You know,
Have-
Rupert Murdoch is 96. He's marrying a fetus next week. Like, I mean, it's okay. Like, yeah, the 7 years.
That's
it's like,
technically
yes,
not. That's
please.
technically not okay.
I mean,
Even in Mississippi, that's
know.
not okay. Right. So-
I don't know. It's Australia, but
Okay.
yeah. I,
Oh,
I,
Australia,
fine.
Australia,
I,
other country,
perhaps,
right.
but I don't
so,
know.
yeah, Heather, no problem here.
Rupert Murdoch does whatever the fuck he wants. Apparently,
You're attracted to him. He's nice to you. Go date him. Go hook up.
Yeah.
Go out and find out what he's like. You might be really nice. You might be. You might see little hints of immaturity, compared to what you might be used to by dating someone. But
Right, but he's also not 18.
Right.
Like he's 25.
True,
like
25.
It's like that's not like, it's still like after, probably any college or whatever, like, at least probably has been working at least for a couple years,
Right.
type of thing.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, just have sex with them
7 years is not a
and
cougar
then
make.
go from there.
Do it.
Yeah.
Heather, come on.
I mean,
get in there.
this is a no-brainer. Go out there,
Hook up with
get
him.
yourself some
Do it.
25-year-old man flesh.
25-year-old man. Attracted to him. Boom. Done and done. Our opinion. There you go. Take that for what it is. Let's follow up on that one. I'm kind of curious. I like dating this 25-year-old guy.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't see why, especially like I mean, like who really has shame over 7 years? I
Oh.
mean, I get
I've
like
done more than that.
just nowadays. I just think, I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio, what he does, he has a rule that it's only, I think he cuts off at 25, but his current girlfriend is like 19, and she's like, I didn't
didn't
even
know
know
that.
who he was. I just like
He
him for
wasn't even
him.
born when
He's-
he was a star. Like Titanic, she wasn't
when he
even born.
was a star. Burn.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right.
I
Well, that was
didn't mean it that way, Leo.
96.
But I was
Yeah.
saying like Titanic, his big thing. She wasn't even born. Holy shit.
Right? No, not at all. Not for years later. Like I mean, Titanic was 1996. So
Yeah, oh, Super J's making a good point. It's like we'd be conditioned to feel shame by anything related to sex. Stop it. Be free with it. As long as no one's getting hurt, everyone's consenting.
right. As long as everyone's like an adult and consenting,
Right.
and you know that you're, yeah,
Do it. You're not
And
sick. It's great.
whatever.
Sounds awesome.
This is one of those things that helps you to not think about the existential dread of what's going to happen after you die or any of that.
Previous questions.
Instead, yeah, going back to that,
You're having sex with a 25-year-old, which is great.
boom, yeah, concentrate on
You're
that.
winning.
Totally, you're going to be a lot more pleasant than concentrating on what's going to happen after the heat death of the universe.
And you get to
So-
brag at all your girlfriends. They'll all be jealous.
Right.
Carry on. Heather,
Exactly.
good luck. We're
Yeah.
we're pulling for you
I
here.
think Heather's going to be. I think she's going to be totally fine.
You'll be just fine. Just fine, I hope. Dude, speedrun time.
Oh,
And
speed round.
It
Okay.
is
this
your
you?
turn. Your turn.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, confirmed.
Yep.
Your turn. So, okay, for those not familiar,
Alright.
we're gonna put. I gotta figure out where the timer is. Oh,
60 seconds.
yeah.
Do my exercises.
Okay, 60 seconds on the
Uh.
timer. So, how this is gonna work is that I'm gonna ask Green Pants 5 rapid fire advice questions. He's gonna respond within those 60 seconds that he's been given, and then yeah, we'll do a little bit of unpack at the end. But that's how it works. And then what we're gonna do is as I finish reading the first questions, when the timer will start. Green Pants, are you?
Yes.
What movie title best describes your life?
A series of unfortunate events.
Lemony Snicket. What is the most futuristic technology you wish existed in real life?
Real sex dogs. Like actually, like not messing around. So, actually, okay, fine. Holodeck. The holodeck in Star Trek with 100% real haptic feedback.
Got it.
That.
What is the most old person thing that you do?
Oh, tell actual kids to get off my lawn. But definitely go out into the street and doing this to get people to slow down. I do that now. I am that guy.
That's pretty old. All right,
17-year-old me would have.
give
like,
the finger to as you
pretended
drive
they
by.
were gonna
Yeah,
hit.
no, I get
Exactly.
it. I get it. Here we go. When people come to you for help, what do they usually want help with?
Oh, when people have to write heartfelt letters of like apology when they get convicted of a crime or like a federal offense or something, and they have to
Yes.
write a letter saying that they're sorry. People come to me to write those letters. Like I'm pretty good at it.
Okay, so that's what artist is most famous, even though their art is absolute fucking garbage.
Da Vinci. No, I don't.
What?
He couldn't stay in his lane. No, okay. Oh, Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, that is. Yeah, Andy Warhol. Listen, we talked about Empire.
We did.
At this point, end of questions. My 60 seconds is over.
It's way over.
Moving immediately to unpacking.
We are.
That
Andy
man
Warhol.
created Empire. That is garbage.
So that's a minus.
We've talked about it before. And having,
All right.
you know,
All right. Fair enough.
moved into-
Who would I say? Who's the artist? Who's famous for their art, even though it's garbage? I don't know.
Jackson Pollock.
I was gonna say that actually. I was gonna say Pollock. But he's
That's an
so
easy one.
polarizing. It's like that's almost a softball,
Right.
right? I don't know who's
Like
known for the-
Matisse is another one.
Oh, but not just artist, but any kind of art, right? So, yeah, like
yeah.
my number one is Kanye West, no question. Like, absolutely no
right.
question. Like, Kanye West is the most overrated fucking artist in the history of
right.
any form of art form whatsoever. And I never listened to a song, and finally someone finally told me, it's like, oh, you should listen to his music. I'm like, fine, tell me his biggest hit. I listened to it, it was shit. It's like, I don't remember what it was even, but it was terrible.
Right, he was even like Jay-Z. It's like like I don't really know those songs, but like he produces all of this stuff and like really has an ear for it's like really
Right.
talented. But yeah, I would agree with you. Like how I cannot think of a thing that Kanye West has contributed
Correct.
to the cultural zeitgeist that is in any way not just funny because it's so bad and terrible.
It's like idiotic. You know what I mean? It's like
But yeah,
he's so.
I mean, he's famous for
untalented,
being
like
right. He's famous for
Unbelievable.
doing like insanely stupid stuff.
right,
And
right.
just
That's his real claim to fame. Ever since he
and
upstaged
saying
Taylor,
shocking things
Taylor
because
Swift
he
at the
doesn't
AMAs,
understand
right?
stuff.
That was like
Right.
the thing that's the first
Oh
time
yeah,
I heard of him.
interrupted his speech. You know, the first
Yeah.
time I heard of, or was that before or after it was Hurricane and Katrina, and he was like, George Bush does not care about black people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was one of the first ones because that was just
Oh,
sort of
that's
like
true.
what, like,
That's
but
true.
it made
And
a
that was
lot of,
he was standing next to Mike
press at the
Myers.
time.
Remember that? And
Right,
Myers
and
was
Mike
like,
Myers was like, yeah, because he was
Oh,
like presenter board.
I am standing
Yeah,
here
'cause-
next to this guy.
Because at that point, Mike Myers was definitely the bigger star. At that
Right,
point, he was
right,
like,
for sure.
what?
For sure.
And so,
I do gotta dig Myers a little bit though, and I know his later work has kind of fell off a cliff, right? But I mean, he was a very clever comedian for a very long time in his prime, right? So I'm surprised he didn't have anything. You know what I mean? Like his wit, he should have been like even like a what now? You know what I mean? Like a something,
right, well,
some kind of reaction to
but
diffuse what he said. You know what I mean?
those are really tough situations to be in for the host because
Yeah.
the network is there. Like they
Right.
don't have a lot of leeway into like what, like even to react or like what's appropriate and stuff. It's like
Right.
especially for polarizing stuff like that. So it's like
Right.
normally stunned silence is what happens.
I
And that's how
guess.
you get. And that's how you get Will Smith walking up and slapping Chris Rock in the face.
Right.
Everyone just being
And
like,
somehow okay.
"Wow, that just happened."
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Everyone
bullshit
was
too.
like, "Wow,
Fucking
that
Will
just
Smith. Jesus Christ.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
He just-
Right, Chris Rock handled it well. He's
yeah,
like,
Chris Rock handled
"Damn."
it incredibly
He's like,
well.
got
I
slapped for the G.I. Jane joke?
right.
It's like, that's the
G.I.
one that
Jane.
did it? G.I. Jane,
Yeah.
really? Yeah. And then with Smith still talking to him, he's like, oh, you're going to hit me again? You know, he's like sort of
Right.
egging him on, right? The whole thing. It's like,
Right.
Rock handled it well. Like I said, Myers, I don't know, it could have done something. Even like a, whoa, okay then, we're going to move on. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like something, like acknowledging it and then, you know, getting it out. I don't know.
Even now, like
That's
Will
just my
Smith,
take.
Bad Boys 2, huge hit at the box office.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that didn't kill his career. You know,
I know,
kind of
he
thing.
came back. It took some time.
No
though.
one,
I mean, he
no
was...
one really cared about his tennis movie, really. Like, it did.
Oh,
it did
with
sort
the
of-
Williams sisters?
Yeah, the one that he got the Oscar for.
Yeah, right.
Just sort
That
of-
night, exactly.
Wasn't great publicity.
Can you
for the
imagine
movie.
like all those people that worked so hard on that movie? You know what I mean?
Oh
and
my
it's
God,
like
yes.
to get shit
So
on
angry.
because he did that stupid thing. It's like feel for those
Fine.
artists, man. Those are artists I feel for. Unlike freaking Kanye West,
Yeah.
who's like talentless son of a bitch. Anyway, let's talk about other things. So what else? People come to help. What do they usually help? What do you help people with? Letters.
Oftentimes when someone commits a crime,
Yes.
generally a minor felony or misdemeanor,
Yes.
and they're young,
Yes.
a judge can ask them to write a letter of apology to the state or to basically saying that they acknowledge that what they did was wrong
Mhm.
and what they've learned from their mistakes and that they have true remorse.
Yes.
So, since most people don't have true remorse and can't do that, like they come to me to write the letters,
You write the letter.
because they can't write them because
Of course.
obviously they
If
don't.
they
believe
have
it.
true no remorse.
Yeah, right. They don't actually. So they have to figure out like what would I say if I actually felt remorse, right?
Right.
So like, and it's hard for them to do because they're just like, no, I'm fine with what happened.
Do you
So,
interview them, or do
uh,
you just like make up what a standard normal person would say for remorse?
I need to get key. There's a form, but there has to be. It's almost like Mad Libs in a way.
Oh, I see.
Like key. It's like, what did you do?
I see.
How long that were you given? Do you have any priors? Like just basic stuff so that I can, put a voice to the words, whatever, and then I can write, genuinely emotionally sorrowful letters that judges will, that will bring a tear to their eye and will, help some 25-year-old rich kid, not have to
That's a
go to jail for coke.
That's a great side hustle that you have. I think that's fantastic. I mean, unfortunately, you could probably get ChatGPT to write those letters now. Putting you out of business, but
Don't even get me started with ChatGPT. ChatGPT has crushed my side hustle. Crushed it. I didn't want to bring that up.
I know. I'm
But
sorry.
That is actually very, very close to me personally at the moment. That ChatGPT has gotten good enough that it can write reasonably good facsimiles. I still say that my letters, I've never had a judge not at least lower the
Nice.
charges or the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
penalties or whatnot.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's
And
great. And I know you're-
and I've never had a judge say, "Who the fuck wrote this?" So, which
That's great.
amazes me, because they really should say that.
Right.
Because when I say that, I go down on my knees at night and I pray to the Lord to forgive me for the mistakes I've made
And make me-
shame that
yeah.
I feel, and I lay flat on the ground,
Yeah.
feeling worthless
and,
for
and,
what
and
I've done.
praying
You
the
know,
one day where I'll be a better person and I can finally be healthy and a better
and then judges not a log, and they're like, you know what? Solid. Boom. Time served.
That's awesome. Mine is what's mine? Mine's a split when people come to me. It's either tech support or relationship advice. It's pretty evenly split. The tech support I get,
Which is
yeah, the relationship
which is why you were
advice,
perfect for this particular endeavor right now.
Perhaps.
Um,
Perhaps, but it's good. It's weird. I've had people like approach me that I never would have thought would approach me about some things. You know what I mean? Say, hey,
Right.
you just seem like someone I could talk to, blah blah blah, and that's a nice feeling actually. So again, back to who's our guy? Sean. Sean, think about that too. How can you help other people? You know what I mean? Be that person that helps other people.
people are very comfortable talking to me about drugs.
Yes, correct.
And also their priors.
Correct.
That is
That's
something.
your subject matter.
I-
You're an
I
SME, subject matter expert in those.
Well, it's not. I have, at least within my, I'm the kind of person, apparently, that people feel comfortable just completely unloading to.
Yeah,
Like, not in
yeah,
like a
yeah.
really negative way, but just
Right.
like deeply overly personal information that I
similar.
really don't care to know is often
Right.
deposited directly for me,
I think it's because we're not.
generally of a medical nature.
Oh, I see.
Um,
I think it's because we're not
but-
overly
but
judgy.
yes.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because there's not going to be.
I'm very
Right,
not
because
judgy.
yeah.
I mean, I mean, I think
Right,
we all judge in a way. You know what I mean? But I think like outwardly judge. Like we'll have an opinion. You know, someone tells us something, I'll be like, in my mind, I'll be like, well, that was a stupid thing you did. But yet, it's kind of like,
Well, when you don't have like religious prohibitions about stupid
Right.
shit that like makes you have to judge things
Right.
insanely because it's proscriptive from a book from the Bronze Age again, just remove all that shit and approach things by like just looking at the actual details. Yeah, it's amazing how how much more rational you can be.
Yeah,
when
100%.
you're not forced to filter everything through this funhouse mirror of
of how to live your
magical
life. Yeah, magical
sky
fairy
wizards and
dust.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And old person thing. And you're the guy telling people to slow down on the road. I get it.
Well, I mean, the first time I did it, like, it came very naturally. I was out there, I was like mowing the lawn, and a car, and I was like, and then another car, and I was like, and then I caught it like on the second down. I was like, and I saw myself, 16 years old, giving the finger,
Right. So the old
to
man
myself.
with his rake. Yeah.
and I just.
Now, do you-
with his mower on this side of the road, with his ear protection on, which I totally would have like tooled on.
Oh,
at
I
the time
always
and been
would
like,
have.
oh my god,
Oh my
like,
God.
Right.
Welcome
But
to
when I was
tinnitus if you don't.
16,
Jesus. No, I see.
17,
I get it.
and all I cared about was the speakers that were in my car and how much bass that they provided, and was very well versed in amplifiers and 6x9s and all the various things that go into a car subwoofer.
Understood. Same.
I saw anyone wearing ear protection as being a pussy, because I was 16 and an idiot.
I
And
like
so,
both. I like the subwoofers and the ear protection. I
yeah.
think both have a place in life, kind of thing. The
Right,
what was I
and
gonna
at that
ask?
point, I did not. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Do your kids play
So-
front yard or backyard? Outside.
They play inside
Okay.
because they
They're like you.
are addicted to screens.
Right, I see.
Right? No, I am the most outside person in my
You are now.
Little
right.
clan.
Yeah.
because of the yard situation and
Right.
the amount of
And you
uh,
tend
work that is.
the land. You work the land with your hands.
Right. I
That's-
spend a great deal of time, yes, working on activities outside.
Right.
But yes, outdoor play, not something my kids are at all interested in any way, shape, or form.
Got it.
Like if you put them in the woods, they would try to build a computer, like somehow, like out of sticks or whatever. Or they would just,
How can we make this into a game that we can
they would,
understand?
yeah. How could I make this into short form anime
Yes.
with random, music attached to it? Because that is the only thing that they can understand. Or,
Oh, that's great.
you know,
Oh, this was nice. Super J said that we're both very open-minded, more curious than judgy. Very nice of her. Like Ted Lasso. We're like Ted Lasso.
oh yeah, I don't really. I mean,
And you don't know much about
I've
sports
never
ball,
seen
so
Ted Lasso, so right, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, my understanding is that it's like, yeah, he's a guy that like
the football
became
coach.
the
guy
head
that-
coach of a
team.
soccer coach. Yeah, and then he's kind of like, oh, this, yeah.
Right.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, my son really enjoyed it.
Definitely not my.
Not your cup. Definitely not your cup of tea.
I,
Definitely
well,
not.
I just think with the, considering there are like 3 shows at all that I have time to watch, and as I said, they're all on
you
different
gotta pick
streaming
and you gotta
services.
choose carefully. Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
You know, House of the Dragon. That I'll watch that.
You'd be into that.
HBO puts it out every 2.5 years. I'll watch it. When Stranger Things comes out, I'm there.
Back right in there.
But
Right.
I got like 4 years to wait or whatever it's gonna be. So.
I know, right? Seriously, and the kids are gonna be not kids. They're gonna be.
Oh, they're not. Yeah, I've seen some of the promotional thing, and they for the, and this is true, for the season 5, they are going to digitally de-age
Holy
some
shit.
of the kids
Wow.
for the filming. Yeah, just like they did for Harrison Ford in the
You do that
latest
now.
Indiana Jones. They're just like, yep, nope. And they did that to Samuel L. Jackson, for when he was Nick
Yeah,
Fury.
yeah, oh yeah. They did a good job.
They made him like
Really good.
35 or whatever.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Back in the
It
90s.
was- and they had to
Captain
do it
Marvel.
throughout the whole movie. It was like full, like it was like full facial expression, talking, all that.
Really good job. I don't think what my old person things are. I do naps. That's an old person thing, right?
Yeah,
I enjoy my
it's a
naps.
young person thing and an old person thing,
That's very young or very old.
and it's a teenage thing.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
I'm just keeping it going.
Yeah, because it was a college thing. Yeah, so definitely. Yeah, I think there was a period of time where it wasn't a thing, but yeah.
And my other thing is, I think
no shame there.
My other thing is, I think young people fuck stuff up, like the internet. Like, I'm enraged at what young people have done to the internet. Like, my generation made it for them, and they just fucked it up. You know what I mean? They're like, makes me crazy. I think that's a very old person thing.
Is that what you believe, though? That they
Young
fucked
people
it up?
fucked up the internet? Yeah, for sure.
Well, I guess in terms of like the internet has only been even a thing, for 30 years or so. So 95, 96, and
At that scale,
what
yeah.
fucked
No,
it
I
up-
mean, but it
but,
just
but what fucked it all up
ARPANET.
was
ARPANET
it was essentially like immediately monetized, or
Right.
you could actually just say weaponized,
right.
in order to like it has had a deliberate effect on like shortening kids' attention spans.
Yes.
And it's like it's the product that was created for them.
Yes.
And so to say that like they ruined the internet, I think is because
no,
it's
they-
like
they-
unless you're talking about the tech bros that
Yes.
founded, like Mark Zuckerberg. Great, you want to be like, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg fucking ruined the internet. Absolutely.
social media did kind of ruin it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I absolutely, yeah. Mark Zuckerberg, fuck that guy.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Yeah, and you're right. There's definitely there was a group
Elon
of
Musk.
a generational. Yes, there's a group of generational
Ruined
individuals
so much
who
stuff.
commercialized, and I think are the ones who ruined the internet. And then there are the kids who are suffering from that commercial. You know what I mean? So it's definitely
Right, exactly.
There's not just one victim here, no question.
So yeah,
Something.
but yeah, I think it's disingenuous to be like we built it for them. It evolved on its own over time, and it didn't have the
Yeah, I
capacity to
know,
really
I
be
guess.
abused. But until it became really like it became commercially viable
Well, yeah,
and
viable.
something that was fast enough and cheap enough
Yeah.
that it could be given to the masses and they could watch videos and they actually had the stuff that we've been promised all these times is like video screen like that was something that was always like a future.
Right.
Now
Like
it's
a
like
handheld video screen. It was like
yeah,
Tracy's
and like
watch,
and
right? Now
everything
it's like-
happens instantly, so you start to get expected, like from even like paying or anything. It's sort of like no one has cash, or it's like no,
Right,
that's,
right,
no,
right.
this is how.
True. Yeah,
or,
no, it's a good
know,
point.
and-
I'll more go with the naps then, I guess. All right.
And I also have no problem with eating dinner at like 4 o'clock. That's fine.
Oh Jesus.
You know what?
Wait, do it
Yeah,
the old,
it's
do you
early
do
bird
it, do you
special.
do it at the old country buffet?
Listen, early bird special is nothing to mock.
You know
I
you
don't
can get
think.
the discount coupon from your AARP magazine.
What is your futuristic technology?
I think I definitely have to agree with holodeck. That would be fantastic.
Holodeck. Okay.
That'd be
Well, the
amazing.
holodeck incorporates so much stuff because it's
Anything.
like, well, it's creating
Whatever.
Because it's that and the replicators as well, where it's basically like we're just
Holodeck
gonna take matter
combines
and
the
make it into
replicator
whatever
with
else.
right, and the force field,
Right.
shape force fields with holograms projected on them. The whole thing. It's like
Right.
unbelievable.
'Cause
Any
generally,
scenario you can
anything that's
imagine.
in the holodeck, you can't leave with the holodeck. You know, and so
Right.
so as opposed to the replicator, which
How
is
did-
like creating a physical thing.
There had to be and this is weird, right? So you would think that I don't know, unless they assume they were such an evolved society, they just never dived into it. Like, how did people like sex on the holodeck wasn't a thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's at least it was.
It was like in one episode. It was yeah. They addressed
Jordy
it
had
a
the
little
hots
bit,
for like one person or something.
But that's the beauty of Star Trek, though, in that it really didn't. It approached macro issues and stuff,
Yes.
but like the whole idea is that, oh, by the way, we've solved poverty and all that stuff,
Right.
so that is no longer a thing. Like, boom, like
Awesome.
that's our
Right.
premise.
Yeah.
And I've all agreed that as Earth, we all right, have joined a federation of planets. We are now okay not only with all of the Earthlings, but we're
Right.
okay with
Aliens.
aliens, and
Right.
we're fine, and we're all integrated, and no one goes hungry and all that stuff, and
Right.
we have the resources to build giant starships to fucking explore for this hell of exploring.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's
Yeah, it's true.
that's a pretty good positive message. So
They
it's
got-
like, yeah, when they get,
because they got to the point
they
where
also
they
don't
could
address
turn,
bathrooms. You know,
got to the point where you could
where does all
basically
the
turn
shit go? I don't know.
energy into stuff. You know what I mean? Because the replicators are basically taking energy, assemble fundamental particles of matter to make anything you want. You know what I mean? So when you can turn energy into stuff at will, and you can produce huge amounts of energy, there goes your poverty. Right? You're done. You meet the needs.
Right.
of everybody.
Right, exactly. So, you know, but yeah, so holodeck, yeah. Holodeck
Holodeck.
absolutely would be problematic in practice, but the fact that they did not address that in the show is not surprising, I think.
Now I'm thinking, like, if you find the blacklight in the holodeck when it's off,
Wow. It's gonna be unpleasant.
right?
I think we can
Because you
all
would
say
still
that.
see.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't remove stuff you bring into
Well,
the
I would
holodeck,
assume-
including
Right. Why would you think they wouldn't have a holodeck janitor or something? There's got to be like
who's
the
the poor
equivalent of,
guy
like,
who's
the
got to
spooge
clean
guy.
the spunk out of the
there's the same guy
Jesus.
that clears the spunk bucket at the brothel is the same guy that gonna have a similar job on the Enterprise.
He's in Starfleet.
He's in Starfleet. He's an ensign or something. I don't know.
A lowly
whatever.
ensign.
For lowly ensign, he's a red
lower
shirt,
deck,
and-
below the lower decks.
Yeah, below. Yes, lowest of the low. He's the you know,
He's your mom.
he's the-
your bucket.
he's the cum cleaner, right? In the holodeck, you know, after every use. You know, because it's
Oh my
important when
God.
you have your next use. You don't want to have someone else's, you know, jizz on the walls when you're
yeah.
having your force field sex.
Right.
It's important. I don't know what happens with the force field sex and where the jizz goes, and does it all the way launch to the wall? I mean, or does it?
No,
does it
I
land-
think
does
it's
it-
within
the force field stops it at the point.
Right,
Wasn't it just
yes.
a drop? It just goes boom.
And as soon
then
as you-
ultimately it's on the floor, so
Right.
it's not on the wall.
Correct. So as soon as you end program, it
I want to
just
be
all,
accurate.
as soon as you end program, it just all drops from whatever entity had it
Okay.
in it. You know what I mean? It would just like fall to the floor. I think is what would happen.
Arch, and then you,
Yeah, I'd be like,
the
plop.
arch, and
Right, arch,
then
right,
thing.
computer arch, and it
and
plop.
okay.
And then it'd be like, oh, I gotta go. My shift is here, and I gotta leave. And then,
I just want to make sure we're being scientific.
yeah, no, I know for sure. Wow,
What movie title describes your life?
it's a good question. I don't know. That was a good one. Yours was a series of unfortunate events.
A series of unfortunate events.
It's a really good one. No, dude, I have to think about it.
Recently, like Falling Down, Kirk Douglas in Falling Down, where he's just like, fuck, like everything
Yeah.
sucks. He's just going around with a bat.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
um,
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't have a. I'm kind of surprised I don't have a good answer for that one. I have to think about it. Because also my life now is not like my life from, you know what I mean,
right.
20 years ago. So now I don't know.
You could. Yeah, I don't know.
Help me
There's
out.
no
I
way,
mean,
you
you're better at movies than I am.
know, you could be Kazam. Might be a good one.
Strictly Ballroom,
uh,
maybe Strictly Ballroom.
Or Titanic.
One.
Your struggle, like Rudy. You know, perhaps.
Face
You know,
thing?
struggle.
Is that what you're saying?
struggle
You're
to-
saying I look like Rudy?
No. I'm saying it's a story of someone overcoming
Adversity.
adversity. Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, like you grew up in Jersey. Boom.
Sure.
Already.
So you're not
Dramatic
saying it's not just about the
situation.
title; it's about the context of the movie.
I think it can be either one. I mean, obviously,
Okay.
a series of unfortunate events is Lemony Snicket and its kids going to a series of relatives' houses. So,
Yes,
on theme, no. Title, yes.
that's good.
But for you, I think it would be more something like, sex related or.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
you love it, and that's
really do.
great.
You do too.
It's so awesome.
Don't pretend
that's-
that you
yeah,
don't.
I-
You also
I,
love it.
I am not. I am a proponent, but I'm not like an advocate as much as you are.
Oh,
Like
I see.
I think that is the. I'm just
Although I think you were the
know.
first to tell Heather there to hook up with her 25-year-old.
we both
We were.
pretty much
We were
said
both
that.
on. We were
Actually
fully on the
no.
same
I
page
think
with
your
that.
immediate response was have sex with him or fuck him.
That is
something
true.
like that.
I
was
think
like the
I
first
did
thing
say that. That's true. It was immediate. It was like
it was what that is what your amygdala. That is
That's
what
right.
the reptile. The first
Yeah.
thing that
Yeah.
is like the instinctual
Yeah.
thing. That's
it
what
was
your-
like the
that-
only
that's what I'm saying.
possible answer that my mouth could utter. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So-
Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
I'm just saying.
I like human connection. What can I say?
Relatively, yeah, yeah, and you like humans very closely connected, and then a little bit apart, and then really closely
then-
connected, and then a little bit apart,
Well, let's connect
and
again.
then closely connected again,
Repeat
and
is
then
necessary.
you just do that for hours and hours. It's like
Oh my god. Yes.
you like connection. I get that, as well as disconnection and reconnection.
Okay. Yes, we get. Okay, sounds good.
I'm talking about sex.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
talking
clearly,
about, like,
clearly.
I didn't
Right.
know if you got that.
I did actually. So, speaking of which, I think we covered many topics. We covered sex and how
Yeah.
Heather should be having it with the
Did.
25-year-old. We covered how a
We did.
60-year-old should not be asking a 21-year-old about their sex.
Right.
That's not okay.
And they also should, and the 21-year-old should not feel obligated to be nice because the person is 62.
Right. And the 35-year-old
Be
that is
like,
home.
No, that was not cool.
Right. And the 35-year-old home should be having sex and find a way to do that.
If he wants.
Well, of
But
course, if you want.
if he's an introvert and is happy with that, that is also okay.
Yes. And then, then our metaphysical question about how we're all going to die anyway.
Right. So it's more of, does anything matter? Not really. But do the day by day, pretend everything's doesn't, and you can eke out, happiness. Just fake it. Fake it till you make it every day, and you'll have a happy life. Just be like, you know what? No, you know what? Everything's fine. It's all fine.
Everything
like
is
the
fine.
dog with a little house burning around him. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I mean, for the most part, everything is fine. We've come a long way as a species, but
Right.
yeah. So this was great. Again, your insights always appreciated. I think we did some good today. I hope.
I find that you are very insightful and someone that I can workshop my ideas with. So
I think that's.
I appreciate
thank
that
you.
about you.
and I appreciate that about you, that you are comfortable doing that, and I also with you
Yes.
sharing my.
I am comfortable that you're comfortable recognizing my appreciation and feeling comfortable enough that you appreciate my appreciation for appreciating you.
I
And
am
that's great.
fantastically pleased and full of joy and comfortable that you are comfortable. But now we have to go.
I love you.
Wow. Okay, now.
No, like, come on. What?
Hey,
what?
you know
what?
what? Hey, it's great.
Hey, but
Just great.
oh my god. But okay.
Oh no.
Listen.
Yeah. So we're gonna be here next week. And that time we're gonna be next week is 9:30 Eastern time, Eastern US time. And Green Pants and I are gonna be here. We're gonna answer 5 more questions from our viewers. Speaking of which, we need more questions. The question
Yeah.
jar is getting a little low here. So underneath Green Pants, which is
Yeah. Right here.
under there. Yeah, click the link if you're on Twitch, and you will see the Google form that lets you submit your question. You may submit it anonymously, or you may put your name, or you may put your name and where you're from. And if you put where you're from, Green Pinch will mock where you're from, and that's part of the fun. So I think you should do that.
Or you could ask, perhaps you could address Vanguard and ask him why he's uncomfortable saying that he loves me.
That could be one of the questions. I think we should have that. Maybe
Might
that'll be
wanna
a
submit
speed
that.
round next week. That's right.
Yeah, maybe it will be. Maybe it will be.
That's right.
What's
So
to say?
yes. So until then, we'll catch you next time. And again, everyone, thanks for coming. We appreciate you. Everyone who's in the chat, thank you so much. We love you guys. And catch you next time. So
Hey.
and again, remember, we're just we are here to help.
We're here to help.